have you been the mayor of Almonte?
All right, are we rolling?
You're rolling.
Okay, good. I've been the mayor of El Monte since December of 2009. So for about 3 terms now. This is my 4th term. And they're 2-year terms.
You're so young.
I got elected when I was 34.
Wow, that's very young. Okay. How do you feel about terrorist attacks?
Well, you know, they're very scary types of incidents, and that's what they're meant to and designed to be, to terrorize communities into being afraid. And so, you know, it's the worst kind of crime that you can commit in any community. And we've seen all kinds of terrorist crimes, whether they're inspired by organizations like ISIS, or they're the types of attacks that have taken place in our schools, in movie theaters, at our workplaces. They're very scary events, and they're designed to put terror in the hearts of innocent people.
Okay. How close have you been to a terrorist attack?
The closest I've been has been San Bernardino. Although the attack that took place in Paris resulted in the death of one of our residents. So even though that was far away, it hit home here in El Monte. So I would say that while San Bernardino was the closest geographically, the Paris attack had the most impact here in our city.
Okay. What are your strategies to protect Almonte from future terrorist attacks?
Well, interestingly enough, a few years ago, we did have a presentation from our police department. Because we have certain locations in our city that are considered to be potential locations for an attack, we've taken precautions to make sure that we secure those locations, that we understand we have good intelligence coming back and forth from those locations and where we are. We send our police personnel to training to make sure that they are plugged into the respective federal homeland security agencies and other agencies that are necessary to understand how to interact with should we ever come under attack. Hopefully we won't, but we rely a lot on our police department to be well trained, to be able to protect ourselves from terrorist attacks. But I think the most important takeaway now in this world that's so uncertain, where a terroristic attack can happen anywhere, in a school, at a city hall, at a movie theater, wherever the case may be. I think one message that has come across loud and clear is that we all have a responsibility to speak up. If you hear that one of your classmates, for example, is talking about guns and suicide, or things that most children wouldn't normally be talking about, we have a duty to say something to someone. And if we speak up, then we might have a chance of stopping something. Look, if the person's not doing anything wrong, and they're not contemplating doing anything wrong, then you know what? Nothing will come of it, right? But on that off chance that they're planning something bad, if we speak up, if we say something, then we have a chance of thwarting a terrorist attack. And I think we all have to be vigilant in that regard. We have to be the eyes and ears. I've said this often as a prosecutor, that there are more good people in this world than bad. And if good people work together and are united together to protect each other by being, you know, those eyes and ears, those early detectors, if you will, then we can prevent these types of crimes from taking place.
Yeah, I can read that later. What are good ways to protect ourselves? I think you just answered that one.
Yeah, I did. Good ways to protect ourselves. I would say be vigilant, know where you're at, always know where you're at, and kind of know your environment. Make sure that you stay in communication with your family and friends when you're maybe away on travel. Pay attention to if you're abroad. Make sure that you pay attention to circulars or information that the State Department is providing to travelers to make sure that you're safe. While you're here, make sure that again you're always vigilant, paying close attention to your surroundings, so that if you see something that is amiss, that you get away from the situation and then call for help as soon as possible.
Okay. Do you know if the Monte Police Department is involved in any way with terrorist attacks? Do they work? Did they work on any cases that counted as terrorist attacks?
That I know of, I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they've worked on any active investigations regarding any terrorist attacks or potential terrorist attacks. But I know that they receive training and work with the Department of Homeland Security to make sure that they understand what they need to do should something like that happen in our city.
Okay. And last question. This will be easy, I promise.
Okay.
What made you decide to run for mayor?
Oh, that was easy at the time. It's challenging whenever you decide to run for office because you're committing yourself for a period of time to serve others, and it is not an easy commitment to undertake, especially at the time that I decided to run in 2009. It was at the height of the Great Recession that we had. The city had less money coming in. We still had a lot of expenditures that we had to make, and it was a very challenging time for the city, but I believe that I had the right skill set to be able to help our city to get to a better place. And it's been tough, but the last 6 years we've been moving in the right direction. We've got more than $800 million in investment taking place in our city. We still have a long way to go. There are things that we need to do that we haven't been doing for many, many years, including repaving our streets, improving our parks, significantly improving our parks, right? And making sure that we continue to grow our budget in a healthy way, so that we have a long-term sustainable budget that provides the services that our residents require in a fiscally prudent way. But we're moving in that direction. Unfortunately, we've had some challenges with politics and with other issues that we deal with all the time. But I think we have a more stable organization now. Certainly a city manager who's got a lot of experience and at least has the support now from the council, unanimous support of the council, to be able to move our city forward. And that's a big deal, because when you have that turmoil with your council or with your city manager, it unfortunately doesn't allow you the space to move your city ahead. But now we have